Hey everybody, Ron from Back in the Fairway here, and this is episode 5 in the journey to the Mid-Am. This is the week where I announce officially that I am playing in the Pro Golf Series up here in the Seattle area this summer. Tournaments begin March 9th, so just a month away if this video posts on time. Okay, so let's sum this up. It is approximately 15 tournaments this summer. None of them overlap with any dance dates or optional USGA, PNGA tournaments. So that is a beautiful, happy thing. We will be playing courses like Canterwood, Chambers Bay, the Golf Club at Newcastle, Redmond Ridge. So quite a few of the prominent Northwest courses. I think even the home course down in DuPont is there, and that's one that's hosting some of those qualifiers later in the year. So that will be wonderful to get a couple of rounds in there before that. Really excited to be part of that this year, since last year was such a debacle with, having to go in for surgery early on and the expense in that and dealing with all that recovery time and things like that. Really can't say enough that I'm thankful that they brought this series back for this year. It was looking pretty sketchy as the former tournament director really came under fire for how it was run last year. So I'm really glad that they were able to work this out and get this up and running. I have confirmed for the first two events, and that's March 9th and I believe March 23rd. The first one being at Whitehorse Golf Club over in Kingston, Washington. The second being at Canterwood down in the Tacoma area. I believe Chambers Bay is up right after that. I have not confirmed for that one at this point in time. But what I've already started doing is doing my pre-planning for the courses. What that typically entails is I have downloaded the TaylorMade My Round app. The app that they have in the Google Play and Apple iTunes store that allows you to GPS track your scores. The advantage to that one is you can go in and manually enter positions. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and entered a preview round of how I would play the course and what clubs to hit and all the goodies like that to try to figure out the best way to navigate that course. For example, the first hole is a very straightforward par 4. It looks like it would be a driver wedge off the the scorecard, but as I looked at the yardages, it's actually a 2 hybrid because the landing area closes up so much after about 250 yards that hitting a driver in there would actually narrow my field by quite a bit, and it's only going to gain me about a club extra in distance. So you're much better off, kind of being able to see more of the course before you get there. And these apps are amazing for that. The Golf Pad GPS app that I use on course also allows for that. It's phenomenal. So it's definitely one of those things where I'm doing that homework up front so I can kind of get around the course a little bit easier and know a little bit more of a plan before I walk up to the tee box and go, okay, let's hit this. So that's in the works already for those first 2 events. Chambers would be the third one. As we click through the schedule, there's quite a few other great dates, and I'll bring you up to speed on those as I go. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, though, because I got to save content for the next episode, if you know what I mean. So anyway, those 2 are up first. Bag is really coming along well. I have really it sounds strange, but I've kind of dialed back my distance in favor of accuracy with the irons. It does make me wonder if I had done the same thing with the blades, if I was still accurate enough to play those. But I'm really happy with the forgiveness that the Mizunos that they give me. The JPX 900s, the forged model is kind of the in-between between the distance model and then the feel model. I think it's a good mix for where I'm at and where I need to be. The Project X shafts also keep the ball a little bit lower, which is something that I really, really struggled with in windy conditions with the blades, is that, that ball would get up into the wind and kind of hang a little bit and drop. The Mizunos tend to be a little bit more of a penetrating flight, especially with those, the Project X LZ shafts. They are also a notch stiffer than my DG S300s that I'd been playing in the blades. So overall, dialing that back a little bit, I'm still not 100% on the wedges. The 54 degree, the sand wedge, I've pretty well got that dialed in at about 115 yards, maybe 120 if I push it, put the pedal down a little bit on it. That gaps out well to the approach wedge, which is right around 130, 132. And that goes into the regular set that pretty much has about a 12-yard gapping to it, stretching to 15 in the longer irons. The 58-degree wedge, though, that one is giving me some trouble on course, and I'm not sure how to handle that one. Partial shots 50 yards and in, it's absolutely deadly. But I don't seem to have that 100-yard ace that I had at the fitting in that bag right now. And I think I'm okay with that because I can take a little bit off of that sand wedge and really easily pull that shot. I just think I really should have probably stepped 56-58 or 56-60 instead of 54-58. I think that would have given me that 80, 100, and then into the 120 with the approach wedge. But, it is what it is, and I think I've got them pretty close. Putter, the Spider has been absolutely stunning. I am so happy I grabbed that on eBay for a song and a dance. Alignment seems to be much easier with it. The grip feels fantastic. The weighting is just about right. We'll see how it does on faster greens later in the year. And the Rogue. The Rogue is the last piece that I really picked up. Even though the Spider was after the fact, it was kind of a lucky purchase. But the Rogue was really the piece that was missing in that bag. And right now, I have got a perfect cut tee shot going with it. It is roughly 275 carry in the winter right now. Maybe, a couple going down into the 260, upper 260s range. But honestly, very, very impressed with it. When that rollout hits this summer and the temperatures dry up and get a little bit warmer, I have a feeling I'll be maxing out at about 320 with it, which is all you can possibly ask for out of a driver, unless you're a tour pro. Absolutely perfect, stunning fitting. I had it done at Pro Golf Discount up in Linwood. They literally had the club dialed in, except for the shaft, probably within 20 or 30 minutes. Just phenomenal performance. So that again is the Rogue Sub-Zero. It's a 9 degrees, set at standard loft, standard directions. Virtually eliminated my pull hook just by whatever tricks they did with that as far as the weights go and things like that. The shaft is also a phenomenal fit. It's the 76 gram Project X. The hazardous yellow, even though it's a black one. I haven't quite figured that out. But anyway, yeah, it absolutely perfect. Ready to roll with that. Got that cut fade going with that one. Irons have both the draw and the fade working with those. The nice part about the draw with the Mizunos is they don't overdraw and kind of turn into that almost hook. Whereas the blades, if you caught it a little, the margin for error was 0. So if you tried to control it and leave it, straight on line, you come up short right. If you try to draw it, you end up pulling it a little bit too far left and overpowering the hole. So it was an interesting mix-up. The last round I shot actually ended up in a snow round. But yardages were good. Clubs were reacting well with the turf. A little muddy, a little cold. But I did shoot a 1 under 69, and that was having to take an automatic 2-putt on one green. I was about 8 feet from the hole, but the snow was so bad when I'd roll the ball, it was actually building up on the ball. Fortunately, the 2 greens after that were puttable, so I was able to finish up the round without too much worry about the weather. Shortly after that, though, we had about 8 inches of crippling snow, so I haven't made it out since then, even to the range, since those are closed. Just putting indoors right now, and looking forward to getting back out there. Side note, Seattle Golf Show is coming up the 16th and 17th, and Oki Golf had a contest that I was lucky enough to win, so I have 2 tickets coming to that. Hopefully the weather will cooperate and we can get down there and check that out. If so, I will bring you as much material as I can from it. We'll see. Other than that, that's probably it for this episode. Again, kind of highlighting, Pro Golf Series is back on this year. I have confirmed for the first 2 events. Again, that's Canterwood, and it opens up at Whitehorse on March 9th. Bag is looking phenomenal. I am very close to making my tournament ball decision. So as soon as that happens, I will scream and yell and let you know which one I choose. Yeah, other than that, things are going great. You may have noticed my Snohomish Golf Center hat. That is our local driving range. It's a family-owned, family-operated range with an amazing teaching pro. I think it is Patrick Ackerman PGA on Instagram. I'll try to remember to put a link down below to him as well. Just trying to support the locals and get the word out about them. So if you are in the Seattle area, Snohomish Valley Golf Center, it is just south of the Snohomish Airport. So if you're in the north end, it is a great place to go. Trackman, mini putting, great selections of beer and wine, blah, blah, blah. You know, just swing in there, check them out. Yeah, they're a great place. And again, Snohomish Valley Golf Center. I'll try to remember to put a link to that as well. I'm getting a lot of links down here now, but I'll see what I can do to remember all of them. But that is it for episode 5. Everything's looking great, and hopefully I can get all the funding lined up to get registered for the qualifiers that I need to get into and get this season rolling. So we'll see you in episode 6 in a couple of weeks. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll see you on the next video.